Lindsey.
Hey, Christy.
A woman recognized me from the local vegetarian club, but I've never met her before.
Oh, okay. There it is. There it is. It's best when you have to explain a joke.
Oh, good.
That's when they're the best.
Oh, good. Hi, I'm Christy, a backyard gardener from Colorado. These days, gardening has gotten very popular, and my friends and I have noticed more and more people picking our brains for tips and troubleshooting about gardening. We're not experts. We just learned a lot about gardening from the mistakes we made along the way. So welcome to Upside Down Tulips, a fun podcast that celebrates gardening gone wrong.
Upside Down Tulips.
Hello, gardeners.
Hello, everybody.
And wannabe gardeners.
And wannabe gardeners. That's right.
And people who love herbs.
Oh, yeah. People who use them and might be curious about how to get a few of those in their own garden.
Because this week we're talking about
Rosemary.
And welcome back, Lindsey.
Hello.
Lindsey, it snowed again.
It sure did.
And it snowed in California in Los Angeles County.
I think that they might have actually gotten more snow than we did this time.
I think they did too.
That's crazy. Wow, what's happening? And the cold, I'm so tired of it.
Yeah, this is like Minnesota cold all the time.
Yeah, I don't live in Minnesota on purpose.
And that's why we moved, right? Just picture this like Minnesota all the time, but then take away the sun.
Oh, no, I can't. I don't know how people survive it. But it's followed us here.
Yeah, well, I did do a little garden cleanup.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the weather was nice last weekend. And so I went out and I started to just do a little bit of spring cleanup because it was in the 50s. And
okay. What kind of stuff did you do?
just kind of like working on my iris beds because I didn't really clean them up this fall. So just slowly poking, not cleaning everything up, but just doing a little bit.
Yeah, just like snipping off some of those dead leaves.
Those dead leaves. Yes, exactly.
We can't get to the irises in front of our place yet. It's still under a sheet of ice.
Oh, gotcha.
It's just north facing, and it's going to be a while. Yeah.
Well, we want to have some updates here for folks regarding some spring things. One, we have Denver Urban Gardens Grow a Garden kits are still available. I checked in with Brittany Pimental from Doug, and so these kits that will give you seeds and seedlings, she said they have about like 500 left. So
really,
we will put a link in our show notes on how you can apply for the Grow a Garden kit. And if you're not from the Denver metro area, please check out your own community garden center because these community garden groups have this type of program all over the country.
Yes,
and in Canada.
Those up.
Yeah,
snap them up. That sounds so good.
And don't forget, now is the time to winter sow.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
An outdoor method of seed starting you can do right now. If you want information, you can listen to episode 25, Take Out Your Jugs and Learn How to Winter Sow, or episode 72, More Winter Sowing, How to Bring Seeds to Life in the Dead of Winter. And I did some winter sowing this weekend.
You did? Yes. I was interested in what I thought you would have started. So I'm curious what all you started.
I planted 11 milk jugs.
Wow.
And they are mostly perennial flowers right now. And these are the type of perennials that will need a little stratification, so they benefit from the freezing and thawing that happens outside.
Yeah.
And so I did things like echinacea and coreopsis.
Oh.
I did.
I don't know what that looks like.
Oh, it's also called tick seed. It's a pretty bright orange flower.
Oh, pretty.
Perennial, comes back every year.
Oh. So you're like populating your garden with some stuff that'll be in it now.
Yes, I did poppies. I did columbine, and columbine is usually hard for me to start. Right, I can do it if I winter sow it. I did delphiniums.
Oh,
I did all sorts of really fun, beautiful flowers. Oh, foxglove! I do foxglove every year.
Oh, great!
So we'll see what pops up, and then once it starts to be March, I will start doing some veggies, and then some annuals.
Oh, okay. So perennials start first, then annuals.
Yes.
A little while later.
Yes. These are the plants that just need a longer time to just sit out there. And then Mother Nature will decide when they come up.
Okay. All right.
I'll keep everybody posted on how my jugs do.
Yeah. We're so curious about your jugs. Everybody wants to know about your jugs, Christy.
And I should also say, Lindsey, that I have this front area of my yard that I'm creating a no-dig garden about.
I saw that. I saw some like newspaper and things over there and this sort of front border you're creating.
Yeah, it was pretty embarrassing for a while because when I did it, I put down cardboard, I put down newspaper, I put down soil, but I didn't have enough soil. You always think you have enough mulch or enough soil. I maybe had like 1/10 that I needed.
Oh, shoot.
But we had a couple nice days, so I went to the store and I got some topsoil and some compost, and I really covered it nice and did another layer and covered it again. The snow kind of helps too because when it snows, all gardens are equal and it covers my ugly no-dig garden. So
that mound is just a point of visual interest now under the snow.
Yeah. My hope though is that I might put one more layer on it and then more soil that I can just dig into it just as it is and make little holes and then put in some plants, some succulents.
So is the idea that the snow will sort of melt, those things will decompose or break down a little, and then you can like put your things in the spring?
You got it.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
So we'll see how it goes.
Good idea. I'm excited for it. I hear as you said, you maybe going to put some succulents in it, you said?
Yes, that's what I think I'm going to do.
That's going to be beautiful. That's a really good idea.
How about your garden?
Well, let me adjust my pillow.
Oh, she's serious now.
I am serious now.
She's rolling up her sleeves. She's adjusting her readers.
Yeah, I have got, a lot has happened. First and foremost, I need to tell you, I know who killed Rosemary.
Oh, no.
My very own Rosemary, outside. And it was me, everybody. Very sorry.
I'm so sorry.
It was me, poor Rosie. I didn't winterize it enough. I think maybe not even nearly enough. And you said to go out there and check and see if it was still green.
Yeah.
'Tis not.
Oh, no.
Not a speck of green on it.
Well, who knows? It still could come back in the spring. I'm going to have hope.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your hope. I feel like I might have lost mine, but I didn't pull it out. Just letting it be there.
Yeah. Let it be there. And folks, stick around because we'll talk more about Rosemary and we'll find out how one really should winterize your rosemary.
You're going to find out. I'm going to learn about the mistakes that I made. But conversely, in the hydroponics kit inside, the little rosemary seedling is still going.
That's so impressive.
It's so interesting. It's going slower than anything else is.
Yeah, it's going to be a pokey little sucker.
Yeah, it's only about like 1.5 inches. And like the cilantro I planted a couple weeks afterward is already like 4 times bigger than that.
Oh, that's great.
Yes. I had one piece of cilantro with a snack that I had. It's the best cilantro I'd ever tasted.
One little leaf.
Mm-hmm. And my oregano plant in the pot that I have, my indoor herb garden, has died. It's in the same group as a bunch of other herbs that are doing great, so I don't know what I did to it. But in the hydroponics kit, I tried a little experiment where I just sprinkled a few oregano seeds in the kit on the sponges as I would, and then I pre-sprouted a few of them in my closet just to do like a side-by-side. And the ones that I just sprinkled straight on there didn't do anything, but I put a few of the ones that I had pre-sprouted in a little sponge, and like the next day they'd already like settled in and taken off. So
nice.
I have some new very, very baby oregano plants coming up hydroponically, which is great because apparently I need them because I'm killing herbs left and right.
Well, it's smart that you pre-sprouted them.
Yeah.
And did you put that in one of the little hydroponic sponges?
I started it in like a wet paper towel in the closet you do. Yeah, and it works perfect.
Or sometimes I just put them in the refrigerator also.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Or I've also I've just sprouted seeds in a wet paper towel by the sink so I don't forget to water it.
Oh, that's smart.
And then when it starts to really smell, then I know it's time.
It's time. And you're like, oh, the aroma tells me. The aroma alarm.
Those beans have germinated.
Yeah, they sure have. So that's exciting. The mint is growing. The 2 lettuces I have, that Paris Cos, is like taking over.
Great.
It's incredible. I've already had a salad.
So you've gone from a piece of lettuce on your turkey sandwich to a whole salad.
Yeah, to a whole salad. It wasn't a 2-person salad. It was a Lindsey personal salad, but it was delicious.
Okay, great.
So I might, when the herbs get to a good spot, to maybe repot. I'll keep them in the sponge and just plant the sponge.
Mm-hmm.
I might put another lettuce in so that I can just always be reminded to eat my greens.
And wouldn't it just always be nice to have lettuce around all the time?
Yeah, all the time. That's not making me feel bad because it's just turning to liquid in my crisper because I just don't think about it often enough.
That is such a good point.
Yeah.
The lettuce has a way of like getting to the bottom also.
It really does.
Underneath the broccoli and the celery and the carrots.
Yeah.
And then you go like, oh, that was spinach.
Yeah. And now it's just a brown, sad thing that's evolved into a different life form. And I feel terribly guilty about it. So this is a better way to do it. So I'm kind of into having the lettuce inside all the time, maybe.
Oh, good.
And I took some pictures of the roots. I did have a little algae growing on top of some of the sponges, I noticed, because I didn't clean out the whole container.
A little algae's okay, right?
Yeah, I think that it is, but you don't want it. You don't want any of these fungi or algae or whatever to take hold. So I just cleaned out the tank and put some new water in and really carefully cleaned off the algae.
Nice,
and,
your little babies.
Yeah, my little babies. And their roots are so long. So I took pictures of the roots to show you. They're
little
impressive.
babies that then you're going to eat them.
My little edible babies.
Well, folks, we should tell you that if there are words or terms you do not understand, you should check out the
Upside Down Tulip Dictionary.
Very right. Fun and informative. And we can also have that link in our show notes, or you can find it at upsidedowntulips.com. And we've got fun stuff on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. Lindsey, let's post some of your pictures of your roots.
Yes.
Okay, we'll do that.
I love that. We'll do that.
If you feel like you need a coffee cup that has the Upside Down Tulips logo on it.
And you do.
And it also says on the backside, if you make a mistake, your garden will forgive you.
It's an important reminder for me to have around. It's carnage sometimes for me, folks. It's just carnage.
You can get some of our merch. We also have, you can get a garden journal or a t-shirt or a sweatshirt. Check the link in the show notes. And please consider joining our garden party, which is our club where people throw us a couple bucks each month so that we can pay the bills and keep doing Upside Down Tulips.
Yeah, it's a great thing to be a part of. And it's currently the cilantro that I have eaten one leaf of.
That's right, because you can get fun rewards like seeds from our gardens, or depending on your level, you can get a coffee cup or a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And we also have bonus episodes or bonus pod plays that happen every now and then. And we got a special one happening this week just for the garden party, Lindsey.
Oh, yes?
Yes, our excellent yet enigmatic engineer has taken all of the Who Killed Rosemary pod plays, all 8 of them, compile them together into a hootenanny of mystery and true crime and humor.
A veritable smorgasbord.
Yes, they're
Rosemary.
all together in a collection.
That sounds great. We should call the BBC. This is just up their alley. This is right up their alley.
And so folks in our garden party can listen to that. And if you want to listen to that all together at once without having to search through all the episodes, just join the garden party. There's a link in the show notes. But right now, we've got 2 new pod plays this week, friends. We've brought back the wonderful Ask Agnes.
Oh, yes.
And we're back. You're listening to Ask Agnes, a helpful gardening show. I'm Agnes, and I'm here to take the agony out of gardening. We have a caller from New Jersey. Emily, are you there?
Hi, Agnes. Very infrequent listener, first-time caller. I have some questions about winter sowing. I heard you talk about it in episode 25, Take Out Your Jugs and Learn How to Winter Sow. But I couldn't listen to the whole episode because I have podcast interests, but a TikTok attention span. So I don't think I'm doing it right.
Well, Emily, why don't you walk me through what you've done?
I picked a nice winter day when the temps were a little warm for the season so I could winter sow outside like you said.
Off to a good start. It can get a little messy inside.
So anyway, I have gathered all my sewing supplies.
Excellent. The French call it mise en place.
I hope it's okay, but I kind of made up my own pattern.
That's perfectly fine. Nature's patterns are unique too.
It was a little challenging to get my machine plugged in, but I managed it.
Machine?
And threading the bobbin took a while.
What?
But when I took out my jugs, the neighbors got all in a tizzy and I was arrested for public indecency. I'm calling from jail.
Excuse me, Emily. I think I understand the problem. It's homophones. I teach creative writing at a local community college and know a thing or two about homophones. A homophone is a word that sounds the same as another word but has a different meaning whether it's spelled the same or not. Episode 25 was not about winter sowing. It was about winter sowing. Winter sowing is a fun and easy way to start seeds outside during the winter. You plant your seeds in miniature greenhouses made from recycled plastic containers, like 1-gallon milk jugs, and then put them outside in the snow and freezing cold. Once the weather starts to warm up in the spring, the seeds will germinate at their own pace, just as in nature. You don't need to buy any special equipment or grow lights. Winter-sown seedlings don't need to be hardened off. They're already growing outside. The seedlings are hardier and more robust, which means they have a much higher survival rate.
Oh, I always get sow and sow mixed up.
There. Feel better?
Only so-so.
Oh no, why is that?
My husband asked me to sow his pants, and now they are buried in my garden. So he doesn't have any pants to wear, so he can bail me out.
And that's all the time we have for today. Bye-bye, Emily. Another garden saved. So many garden questions, so little time. So we'll have more of Ask Agnes in our next pod play, but right now we're shifting over to our topic of the day.
Rosemary.
Rosemary plants.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how we came to this topic, because we were going to do something entirely different, but we had so much fun talking about rosemary, and of course we have the Who Killed Rosemary series.
Yeah.
And herbs are the topic that people request the most on upside down tulips.
Is it? That makes sense to me, actually. I mean, it's the one that I have a lot of questions about.
Sometimes it's fun to just do a deep dive on one single plant. And everybody loves rosemary, but they're tricky.
Yeah, I didn't realize how tricky they were until I, killed my own.
Right. Yes, right.
and then one sort of mysteriously sprouted, although apparently it's quite hard to get them to germinate.
Yes.
And I'm very, and then I did some research for this, and I was like, they're pretty tricky.
It's a great plant, though, if you can grow one. This is a perennial, which means it comes back every year. It gets its name from Rosemarys officinalis, which is the Latin word rose, meaning dew, and maris, meaning from the sea.
Oh, yeah, maris.
So it's dew from the sea.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Which kind of makes sense because rosemary is from the Mediterranean.
Right.
The ancient Greeks believed rosemary to be a memory aid, and students would often wear a branch in their hair.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I have heard it suggested even still, like by some, some groups will suggest if you're about to study or go take an exam, or like inhale rosemary or bring some with you. It like stimulates your memory and your learning. That's what they say.
That in previous centuries, if you want more fun facts, Lindsey.
Yes, I love fun facts.
Rosemary was used to kill germs and disinfect. And rosemary would be burned in the rooms of sick people.
Oh, it's like a purifying or a cleansing? That's interesting.
In many Mediterranean cultures, rosemary is thought to bring good luck to newlyweds, and baskets of rosemary are offered to couples at their weddings.
Oh.
Which I've not heard of before.
Yeah.
I've also heard it's good in terms of grief.
Oh, interesting.
And the smells can help mend a broken heart.
I hadn't heard that. That's a new one. I have heard that they, in medieval times, women would wear it sometimes in their bridal veil.
Oh, sure.
And they would give it to the guests, as you say, as like the wedding guest is like a token of love and fidelity, sort of, and virtue.
I've heard that it's a symbolize of a woman's fidelity, and a man who is unable to smell its aroma isn't worthy of love.
Oh, that's a harsh sentence right there. What if he's just stopped up?
Yeah, right. What if he had COVID?
Yeah, what if he's got allergies? That's a tough one. But they say what they say. I don't make the rules.
They say things.
They say things all the time.
They know what they're talking about. They also say, this is about between the sheets, that rosemary is an effective way to combat sexual dysfunction.
Oh.
I don't know how you would use it, though.
Yeah, I'm not clear on that. You just roll around in it and hope for the best.
That's right.
It's as good as anything. Why not?
That sounds awesome. Well, should we talk about how to plant it?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Let's talk about that.
So we said this is a Mediterranean plant. So that means it needs everything as if it was in Italy or Greece, right?
Right.
So it needs full sun,
Mm-hmm.
well-drained soil, and airflow.
Right.
Now, here in Colorado, we can guarantee the full sun,
Mm-hmm.
but we have trouble with that well-draining soil.
Oh, yeah. It's not, you got to kind of work to, especially if you're planting them outside, you
Yeah.
kind of got to help create that
Yeah.
for yourself.
It's true for a lot of herbs, too.
Yeah.
They're all sort of from the Mediterranean. So
Mhm.
just picture this little rosemary plant, on the cliffs of Naples or on the, beaches of Greece with a
Right.
nice wind coming through.
And they're not
that's
sitting
what it
in
wants.
this like clay, stodgy,
Right.
thick.
Yeah. Yeah. So the soil temperature should be around 70. This is what they say. These are ideal, right?
Okay, ideal.
70 degrees, which I'm like, 70 degrees? Like, that doesn't happen. That's
That would
that's
happen.
pretty warm.
That'd be way late
Yeah.
in the spring or summer.
Yeah. And it can be grown as a perennial shrub in zone 7 or warmer.
Uh-huh.
Rosemary can be grown from seed, but germination rates are generally quite low. And seedlings are slow to grow. It can take 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay. Just to get it to germinate?
Yeah, so that's why I'm so impressed with your little rosemary plant.
Well, I'm impressed with it too now. Go, little Rosemary.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to give it a name and some encouragement.
You should, yes.
I will. Anything that
You could
anything I
call
can do.
it. You could call it "Dew from the Sea."
Oh, dew from the sea. I might have to shorten that just a touch.
Yeah, just
It doesn't look that impressive yet.
yeah, it's too tiny.
Mhm.
So most folks really recommend that you start a rosemary plant from a cutting or you buy an established plant
Mhm.
because otherwise it's going to take you 8 to 10 weeks
Just to get a little seedling.
to get a little
I
seedling.
know. I'm curious what this little guy is going to do.
Yeah.
It is going.
Oh,
but
you
it
take a
is
picture of
slow.
that too, and we'll put it up
I
on
will.
Facebook.
It's adorable.
Okay, cute.
It's like an inch and a half.
So if you live in colder areas other than Zone 7, like here in Denver,
Yeah.
we're Zone 5B,
Mhm.
there's 2 recommendations.
Please.
And one is to bring it in,
Aha.
to overwinter it,
Mhm.
which we'll go into in a little bit. Or 2, there are some more cold-tolerant varieties that are out there.
Okay.
And that's what I have. My variety is called ARP, A-R-P.
ARP.
And it can withstand temperatures down to -10.
Really? That's a hardy rosemary.
And now,
That's cold.
very, very true. If you want to bring in your rosemary for the winter, many people recommend repotting it with excellent drainage.
Yeah.
Because rosemaries do not like to sit. They don't like their toes wet. They don't like to
Right.
sit in water.
Which means it's interesting that it's working in a hydroponics kit.
Yeah, it is interesting.
I really didn't think about it until now. When it's doesn't seem like it's natural
Yeah, that is
comfort
interesting.
zone, but
You may have to repot it soon.
yeah, that might have to happen soon.
Yeah.
Carry on.
So when you bring it inside, you have to give it plenty of light,
Mhm.
and it might need to acclimate to a light diet. And by that I mean like it's going to get less light than it would if it was outside.
Yeah.
So you have to you may need to give it extra light and give it little grow lights for a while.
Okay. And so this is like when you're bringing it in.
Yeah.
Is this also like a reverse hardening off?
Perfect,
Where
yeah.
you give it a little less light at a time to get it used
Yeah,
to
give it
being
light.
indoors?
Yes, that's right. Exactly right. You may need to elevate the humidity also.
Okay.
So what's interesting is that so in Denver, right?
Mhm.
You may need to
Right.
mist it,
Okay.
but don't water it too much. So it needs, this is a delicate little area because it wants to be consistently moist.
Mhm. So go on and say it.
Yeah, I said it. I said moist.
Shout out to moist.
I know. I hesitated there for a
I
second,
know.
didn't I? It wants to be consistently moist, but it doesn't want to be wet.
Right.
So you don't want it to completely dry out.
Uh-huh.
And but it wants humidity. Its leaves want humidity because it takes in moisture that way.
Okay.
So you may need to spray it. And also it likes air circulation. It likes, the Italian winds to come through.
Right.
So you may need a little fan.
So it's a little bit of a high maintenance. It's a little fussy little herb. Maybe.
Yeah. So that's why I leave mine outside
Uh-huh.
and I overwinter it. And when I see the temperature go below 20 degrees,
Uh-huh.
then I put a frost blanket on it. And a little bucket. I don't know why I do the bucket, but I do. And then I notice it's going to get up. The lows are going to be in the 20s this week. So I'm going to let it get some sunshine.
Uh-huh.
But it's still all fully green.
That's good. I I just mulched mine a little bit, and it wasn't even good. I think it was straw, which maybe isn't the best mulch choice. It just happened to be available.
Straw would be okay. Yeah. Did you cut it back, Lindsey?
I did. It was so small. I didn't cut it back because there wasn't that much to cut.
Gotcha.
I should have. There's a lot of shoulda couldas on this one. It's a learn. I had to learn, y'all.
Well, I've killed Rosemarys before too.
Yeah.
I mean, that Rosemary I have out there was one of 3.
Oh, wow.
Of which I have 1 left.
It looks great, though.
But now it's in its 3rd year, so I think it might be established.
Okay.
So, I mean, I also planted it near a tree so that would get some protection from the winter. I don't know if that helps or not.
Oh, that's an interesting idea.
And I also put a little bit of, I put some compost to really help the drainage in the potting hoyle.
Right.
So
that makes sense.
And I dug a $5 hole for a 50-cent plant. So I put more energy in that hole, a big hole with a lot of compost. So it would help with drainage.
Yeah, but it's like it works in the end. That will be a $50 plant.
Yeah, I hope it gets bigger. We'll see. Yeah. I did harvest it this year, and and we'll talk about harvesting when we come back from the break.
Okay, yeah. They're so worth it. Mm-hmm. Rosemary's so wonderful. I got a little bit of rosemary dried from a friend's plant, and I had it in a jar for months and just used it every time I opened it. It's like heaven.
And when you buy from the grocery store, it's expensive.
Yeah, it is. It's expensive. A lot of herbs are, and then you can't use all of them, and then they don't keep forever, and so much nicer just to be able to snip exactly what you need.
Yes. Well, when we come back, we'll talk about troubleshooting, pruning and harvesting.
Oh, good.
And uses for rosemary.
Yeah, that's right. Some fun ones.
But let's have some more Ask Agnes.
All right, Agnes. Tell us all about it.
And we're back. You're listening to Ask Agnes, a helpful gardening show. I'm Agnes, and I'm here to take the agony out of gardening. We have a caller, Dolores from Duluth. Are you there?
Hi, Agnes. First-time listener, first-time caller. I heard you talk about winter sowing in episode 25. Take out your jugs and learn how to winter sow. I'm excited to try this outdoor seed starting method, but I have some questions about what kind of container to use.
Go right on ahead.
Oh, you betcha. You said that winter sowing containers can be made out of items you throw out every day, like milk jugs.
That's right.
Could I also use a water jug?
Yes.
Juice jug?
Of course.
What about food storage containers, takeout containers, or deli containers?
Yes, yep, and yes-sirree, Bob.
2-liter soda bottles, ice cream buckets, yogurt cups, spinach bins, plastic tubs, Ziploc baggies, rotisserie chicken containers, plastic drinking cups?
Yes.
And 2-liter plastic vodka bottles?
Dolores from Duluth. I teach creative writing at a local community college. Like writing, gardening teaches us there is no limit to our imagination or where we find our inspiration. So there really is no limit to the type or shape of containers for winter sowing. But there are a few important rules to follow in order to choose the best. Winter sowing containers should be made out of plastic. They must be transparent so that sunlight can shine through. Each one needs to be deep enough to hold 2 to 3 inches of soil. They should also be tall enough so the seedlings have plenty of room to grow. Don't forget to include excellent drainage and ventilation. When it comes to choosing winter sowing containers, the final decision boils down to what you prefer and what's available to you.
Oh, yeah. And what about those annoying bakery containers that just fit one muffin?
A perfect choice.
And what about 2-liter gin bottles, 2-liter rum bottles?
And that's all the time we have for today. Try to contain yourself, Dolores from Duluth, and check in the show notes for a link to your local AA. Another garden saved. So, Lindsey, were you a little nervous about doing a Minnesota accent in front of me being from the great state of Minnesota?
I definitely was.
Well, I was impressed.
Oh, thank you so much.
Very good.
It was like, this is an actor's nightmare.
You did a great job.
She's going to look at me so askance, but
no, not at all.
Thanks very much.
Hey, everybody, we just thought of a really good name for Lindsey's little baby rosemary seedling.
Oh, yeah. This is to shorten dew from the sea. It has been suggested I shorten it to doofus. And I think that's right. I think that feels right.
You know, that excellent yet enigmatic engineer is worth every penny we pay him.
Truly. That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
That's right. That's right. Yes, that's right. I'm gonna double his salary.
Yeah, do. It's time. He's earned it.
Yes. Okay, let's talk about some of the things we do to troubleshoot problems with rosemary.
Yes.
So, indoor or outdoor, rosemary plants are very susceptible to powdery mildew.
This is one that gets everything I touch.
Mm-hmm. I get it on my cucumbers?
Oh gosh, I got the cucumbers, pumpkin leaves, got it on the zucchini leaves, and then other things that it was around started to get it. And I just thought it was staying on top of it, but I wasn't. And if it gets on the herbs, that's just heartbreaking because you can't eat those leaves then.
Well, it's good to stay on top of it. And I do this with my cucumbers and my pumpkins and my zucchini every year, is that I will make a little mixture of 1 tablespoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of liquid non-detergent soap, like a clean soap, like Castile.
Is that like a Dr. Bronner's or something?
Yeah,
that?
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I have that.
And then 1 gallon of water. So essentially, you have a mixture of baking soda, soap, and water.
Okay.
And I usually start spraying outside in July to try to get, because by the end of August, everything will be covered with it.
Okay. Yeah. You have to get on it so fast. Otherwise, as soon as there's a spot, I'm like, oh, well, that's the ball game.
Yeah. And then get rid of those leaves.
Yeah. Okay.
Pinch them off and don't put them in the compost pile.
No.
Throw them in the garbage.
Throw them out. Sorry, compost. Sorry, leaves.
Yeah.
Feels so wasteful, but it is less wasteful than spreading it to everywhere else.
Yeah. And so that would also be true if you see it on your rosemary plant. I've not seen it on my one outside.
Okay.
So
I like this choice better than, I have some neem oil.
Yeah, that's
great. A thing people talk about. Yeah. But the question I have is, does it change the flavor of your herbs? Oh. You're spraying it on the leaves. I would imagine it does. It's pretty strongly scented.
Neem oil, yes.
Or even if you put it like in the soil, so it soaks it up.
That's interesting.
Does that change the flavor?
I put neem oil, and neem oil would be most beneficial to get rid of bugs.
Oh, okay, that's better. That's more buggy thing than an anti-fungicide.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
And that's interesting. Would it change the flavor? You could just rinse it.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I would suppose.
Yeah. One thing I do know that does change the flavor of rosemary is fertilizer.
Oh, really?
Most herbs don't need much fertilizer. And if you have it inside, you might need more because it's not using the nutrients of the earth.
Right.
Or if you're hydroponically, you'd have your nutrients that you would put in your water. But the more you fertilize herbs, the more of the oils get taken away because you'll just have a lot more leaves. And you want the plant to invest its energy into the oils.
Right. So with more leaves, it kind of spreads those essential oils and that flavor out.
And it's spending time growing as opposed to concentrating its oils.
Oh,
so while I will
sense.
fertilize and feed all my garden, but I will not, I don't do my herb bed.
Okay. That's good to know. Interesting. Maybe a little inside, not outside.
Yeah.
All right. That's good information.
Another thing that can happen to rosemary plants is that it can start to turn yellow.
Okay.
And the overall growth will slow down. And that can be, if you're inside, that could be that the plant is root bound.
Oh, I have heard this. Rosemarys get root bound pretty easily.
And some plants don't like it.
And then they need to it's almost like you need to repot it every year or something.
Yeah.
So
like aloe veras love to be root bound. Rosemarys don't.
So interesting so they really gotta those roots get spreading pretty fast.
Yeah.
All right. It's a hard working plant under there.
Oh, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. It's really working hard for us.
Well, here's to the day when you get to prune and harvest your rosemary.
I can't wait. Although it could be long. At this rate, it could be a little while.
But for those of you out there who are also in the position, like if, for example, if you live in Oregon in that Pacific coast, people can have rosemary bushes that are like 4 or 5 feet.
Oh my gosh. I just want to sit next to that and smell it.
I think mine is like maybe in the height of summer, maybe it's like 12 inches.
Okay, different. It's pretty good still, though.
Pretty good size, right? Yeah. Make sure you use sharp scissors and clean pruners when you harvest it. The best time to prune is in the spring.
Oh, okay.
You want to cut the stems back about 1/3 of their length so the plant will stay bushy and will stay well shaped. If you can, I don't do this, but this is what they say.
Yeah, they that says stuff.
Make your cuts just above a set of leaves on the stem, which is where a new growth will happen.
Okay.
I just kind of just do a general hacking.
Yeah, a general third hacking.
Right. And if you are harvesting for cooking from time to time, focus on the most tender leaves at the top 2 inches of each stem, because they'll get the tendency to get more woody as it goes down.
Right, because it's a shrub.
Yeah. Try to leave at least 6 inches of each stem behind so you don't deplete the plant too much.
Right. Oh my goodness. I have to wait for it to be even more than 6 inches.
That's right.
This could be a next year update, but that's okay. If
You're obviously very patient, though, if you planted a little rosemary seedling.
If it lives to next year, I'm going to consider that to be a real success.
The main reason I use rosemary's in the kitchen.
I was going to ask, I bet that you're a great cook.
Oh, thanks.
You do cooking and canning, and I'm just curious, what's your favorite thing to use rosemary for?
Well, I think it's really good on on roasted potatoes.
Oh, yes.
So we use that a lot. It's great for chicken. It's really good for grilled meat.
Mm-hmm.
You can take a branch and brush the meat, with some salt and some oil.
Yeah.
So.
And you just put the branch right on top and let the flavor absorb?
Yeah.
That sounds wonderful.
A lot of people will do it and make an infused oil.
Mm-hmm.
I've done it myself before as a hair tonic.
Yeah.
So in reference to Who Killed Rosemary.
Yes.
That was last week, and that rosemary is really great for your hair.
Yeah. It makes it fuller and.
Yes. Fuller, shinier, thicker. In fact, I read an article that said it has some of the same natural ingredients that Rogaine will have in it.
Really? I have to say, your hair does look very full, thick, and shiny.
Well, I just got it cut yesterday.
Looks nice.
And little inside tip.
Yeah.
My hairdresser's name is Tess.
Oh,
okay. And also Edith's hairdresser. Hello, Tess.
Tess got a little shout out in that last play.
But I will infuse some rosemary in some olive oil and put it in the microwave for a couple minutes, and then do a hot oil treatment with my hair with rosemary in it.
Oh, that's a great idea that I'll have to use next year sometime.
Right. People also do it with honey. They'll infuse honey with rosemary, which that sounds amazing.
Oh my God. That sounds actually just delicious.
People do it with vinegar. Make rosemary salt.
Oh, ooh, I want that. That would be wonderful on meat.
Rosemary lemonade.
Yes.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Or make a simple sugar and include rosemary.
Oh, like a rosemary lavender even would be nice.
I saw a recipe for rosemary pesto, but that felt like too much rosemary.
Sure, yeah, a little dab would do ya. That's a lot of that's a strong flavor. It's an overpowering flavor.
Yes, absolutely. And then I've heard people also will make a bath Epsom salts out of it.
Oh, that sounds so wonderful.
Okay, here's a recipe. Ready?
Okay, give me it.
2 cups Epsom salt, 1/2 cup baking soda, 2 to 3 tablespoons of fresh rosemary, finely chopped, 6 to 8 drops lemon essential oil, and 2 to 3 tablespoons of lemon zest.
Wow, lemon zest in your bath.
Yeah, and you
combine
it all together, and then store it in an airtight container, and then throw it in your bathtub.
Oh, I bet that's an invigorating bath.
It sounds really nice.
All that zest and rosemary, that sounds
it'd be a
nice.
fun Christmas gift, wouldn't it?
Oh, yes. Yes. You should probably put me on your list.
Okay. Done.
I need to go on your Christmas list.
Done.
I love putting rosemary also in my pumpkin, not pumpkin, although that would be good too, but butternut squash soup.
Oh,
a little some rosemary in that. That's a really nice
really
flavor.
Good.
Yeah, it's delicious. It's a good time for it right now. It's a cold, needing warm, stick to your bones soup kind of time.
Yeah. What about witchy uses for herbs?
Okay. The witchy stuff for rosemary is fun. It's in old witchcraft, it was one of the most primary herbs in old world magic. Strongly associated with Aphrodite or Venus, depending on which pantheon you ascribe to, I suppose.
Right. The Romans or the Greeks, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
As you'd mentioned before, it's been thousands of years used in rituals. It's used to burn, to purify a ritual space before working your magics. And a rosemary bush in the garden was said to attract elves and repel thieves.
Oh.
So you're well set up with your garden,
That's right.
Rosemary.
Plus elves, minus thieves.
Plus elves, minus thieves. That seems like what you want mostly.
Yeah, I think so.
And some people suggest planting it by your front door for protection. Or use it in your kitchen witch spells for love, associated as it is with Venus. And it's, of course, delicious, but it says to include it in a red meat dish, which blesses it for passion.
Ooh, see, another thing. And then roll around
and then roll around in it. And that's like a two-prong attack. That's a two-prong approach. We talked about wearing it, like using it during exams to improve memory. It also has been used traditionally for fertility sachets, adding it and some pennies for reasons. To hang over your bed and assist with fertility, or not, as the case may be. If that's not what you're shooting for, you get that out of there. You get that right out of there.
Check your sachets, people.
Yeah, chuck them right out. It also suggests for home cleansing to add it to dried orange peel or cinnamon as just a home cleansing, or make it, a wreath out of it for your hair for your wedding day.
Rosemary.
Yeah, rosemary. So, and that's just like scratches the surface of the uses, really.
Dew of the Sea. Check out the garden party, folks, if you want to hear all our Who Killed Rosemary, True Crime, pod plays. And if you have a plant or an herb that you're interested in us doing a deep dive into, let us know.
Oh, yeah. That would be wonderful to know what people are most interested in hearing.
Write to us at upsidedowntulips@gmail.com. Hey, Lindsey.
Hey, Christy.
Guess what time it is?
What time is it?
It's mailbag time.
Ring, ring.
Oh, good. Excellent. This week we have a letter from Donna from Florida.
Okay, Donna. Let's see what you got to say. Hi, I just listened to your hydroponic podcast. Well, thank you very much, Donna from Florida. For Christmas, our son gave me a kit. I love it. It has 12 capsules, which to start I only planted 6. So far, basil and parsley are the fastest to grow. Last week, I went hog wild, planted cucumber, zinnia, lettuce, and cosmos. Today, all of them sprouted.
Oh.
That was fast. Oh, that sounds wonderful, all those zinnias. I would like to grow strawberries, but so far haven't found seeds locally. Looking forward to see how your garden is growing. Take care, Donna.
Aw, thanks, Donna.
Donna, that's so great. Oh, that sounds beautiful.
Well, and I'm so impressed that she wants to grow strawberry from seed.
Yeah, that's also hard. It's something people do cuttings of often.
Yes, well, I've bought strawberry plants before, but to grow from seed, that is...
Yeah, let us know how that goes. That's cool. I'd be excited if it got...
From my research, it can take 2.5 months for a seedling to grow from seed to show its first true leaves.
Wow, that is a slow
So we thought
growing...
rosemary took a long time.
Right? That's a leisurely little plant right there.
Yeah, but sometimes it's fun to have those long experiments just to see if you can do it.
Yeah,
right?
just to challenge yourself.
Yeah, and I looked around a little bit for you, Donna, and it's kind of hard to find strawberry seeds.
It's so because people expect you to buy them and use the plant.
Yeah, but check out Johnny Seeds.
Okay.
They've got strawberry seeds, and please let us know how it goes and send us pictures.
Yeah, pictures. Love pictures.
And can I tell you another funny story about Donna from Florida?
Oh, yes, please do.
So we started emailing back and forth and just sort of chatting back and forth, and she mentioned that her daughter is also a theater director from Minnesota, and then I recognized Donna's last name, and I went, "Is your daughter Lisa?" And I know her daughter.
Oh, no kidding.
Isn't that weird?
What a funny small world. Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. That's so good.
Well, if you have small world stories, folks, or you want to celebrate what's happening in your garden, you have questions, comments, observations, cash.
Especially maybe that last part.
Yeah. You could write to us at upsidedowntulips@gmail.com.
Or you can check out the website at upsidedowntulips.com. Hey, Christy.
Yes, Lindsey.
Do you have any inspiration for us tonight?
I think we need some.
Let me say that again. It's not nighttime. I bet
it's anytime.
It's anytime. Do you have any inspiration for us for any time?
How about right now?
That sounds great.
Okay, yes, I do. This inspiration comes from Terry Guillemetz.
Okay.
The color of springtime is in the flowers. The color of winter is in the imagination.
Oh, yes, it is.
A good sort of February, excited for my new garden inspiration.
That's a great way to stay positive about it instead of just falling into the February dreariness. Keep your imagination alive while you're winter sowing all of those flowers.
Yay. And it's a short month.
Yeah, that's thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Well, folks, we've reached the end of another episode of Upside Down Tulips. We are Lindsey Pierce and Christy Montour Larson.
And if you got some laughs and some value out of this week's episode, could you do us a favor?
Hit that subscribe, like, or follow button wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Thank you so much to Denise Gentilini for composing and performing the Upside Down Tulips theme song.
If you want more, go to denisegentilini.com, or you can find that link at upsidedowntulips.com.
You can find so many links at upsidedowntulips.com.
Don't you? Right.
And thank you to our excellent yet enigmatic engineer.
And join us in 2 weeks for another episode that will delight and amaze you.
Now, don't forget, if you make a mistake,
your garden will forgive you.
Upside down tulips.
Even little doofus,
Oh.
if doofus doesn't make it.
Doofus, we're pulling for you. You got a whole team pulling for you.
Doofus!
Oh, Doofus!
Don't die!